Hello and welcome to another video. As you can see, I am wearing my bead Camp Half-Blood necklace, which can only mean one thing. I am making another Percy Jackson video. By this point, no one is surprised. So in today's video, I am going to be reviewing the Percy Jackson web series made by the Video Bird on YouTube. Now there are quite a lot of Percy Jackson web series on YouTube, which I didn't know before I searched for this particular one, but there are so many. So even if you don't like this one, there are so many to pick and choose from, and let me tell you, it's a great way to spend your morning. This one in particular only takes about half an hour, maybe a little bit more, to watch the whole way through. So if you're ever bored or looking to consume some nice Percy Jackson content, I would definitely recommend. First of all, let's go to Past Me and see how I reacted to the web series trailer. So let's watch the trailer. Okay, thank you for that reaction. That was truly magnificent. So, as you could see from that reaction and that trailer, the trailer doesn't really give much away. So, stay tuned to hear my feedback on the series. So, the first episode is titled We Capture the Flag. And I think this kind of sums up the whole vibe for the web series. It has pretty good locations. I found them pretty good for a YouTube web series. And I thought that the kid who plays Percy had an impressive willingness to fall into the water because it looked like it was cold and it looked like the water was dirty. So I really appreciate his dedication to the job. The second episode is called Talia's Tree, and I don't have a lot to comment on. I just thought it was very nice that they all had appropriate t-shirts from the water park, which is a trend in these videos because they always have the Camp Half-Blood shirts or the shirts they're supposed to be wearing in that specific moment in the books. So props to the costume department. And the third episode is called Monster Donuts, and literally Tyson made me laugh out loud while watching this. And I don't know if this is because of the actors acting and how he said the line, or just because Rick Riordan's writing is so good that it translates so well to a web series, but I would give the kid who played Tyson a 10 out of 10. You made me laugh, so you get a pass from me. Then, of course, this episode cuts right before any action can happen, which I understand because it's very hard to animate a Hydra, but this is also a recurring theme in these episodes, that there's not a lot of action. Then, in between episode 3 and episode 4, there's an ad for We Capture the Flag. And this ad was so wholesome and so wacky, it really reminded me of the Camp Half-Blood introduction video that Apollo does in Camp Half-Blood Confidential. So if you've read this and thought it was funny, I would definitely recommend that video. It was so wacky and so very much Apollo material. Then we have The Golden Fleece. And I think Clarice is maybe one of the best actors in the whole web series. And I also found it very weird that they chose to stick with Luke calling Percy Cuz, as in cousin, because then that means that Annabeth and Percy are also cousins, and this is a subject that we Percy Jackson fans tend to avoid on purpose, so I would not have added that in. And finally, for some reason, the actor who plays Luke, every time he says anything, he sounds like Draco Malfoy to me. Just like that insufferable brat kind of vibe, which I'm pretty sure is not what they intended. Then in the next episode we have Hoover Dam, and I thought it was funny. The comedy was kind of weird because obviously these kids are not comedians, but also Thalia just looks not like Thalia at all. She doesn't look punk, she looks like a normal girl with a lot of hair, and she's supposed to have black choppy hair, which I know you're not gonna get a 15-year-old to cut their hair just for web series, but I mean, get the girl like a wig or like a black leather jacket, like. And when we finally get to meet Rachel Elizabeth Dare, which when I was writing down her initials, I figured out that they spell out red. And she's a redhead, and I'm pretty sure our boy Rick did this in purpose. And I can't believe I've been reading these books since 2012 and had not noticed that in all of these years. But anyways, in her introduction, Rachel Elizabeth Dare has two, not one, but two paintbrushes in her bun. And I mean, you're at Hoover Dam. What are you gonna do with those paintbrushes? I thought it was a clear way of them just trying to make her look like an artist, but I thought it was a little much. Then we have the episode The Hunters, and I thought Annabeth's white streak, I mean, I'm glad it was there, but it looked like a clip-on, just like some hair clipped on her head, and then Percy's looked like they got him paint like in their hands and then like rubbed it all over his bangs. So that was kind of weird. And then from the new guide, all I have to say is that Rachel was covered in gold paint, but only half of her body, which I don't think was what happens in the books. I think finally we get to the three-parter, The Last Olympian, and I have a lot to talk about from this episode. The first episode from these three parts starts with, "Look, I didn't want to be a half-blood," and Percy's whole monologue in the first book, which I think is a really nice touch and a great addition, so points for that. But then a little bit of points off for the fight choreo. I understand, so given what they have, I think they did a good job. And they do have weapons for all the characters that appear on screen, so that's a plus. But yeah, not very believable fighting, but I mean, it's a web series. Then Annabeth spits out fake blood, which is gross. And then, I don't understand why they did this. They merged the bridge scene where Annabeth takes the knife with the scene at the hotel with Percy and Annabeth talking about Percy's weak point. And it doesn't translate very well because Annabeth is just laying on the ground, coughing blood, literally dying. And Percy, and she's just like, "Oh, Percy, you're so cute when you're worried." I'm like, this is supposed to be happening in a nice, comfortable hotel room, not literally bleeding out on the pavement. It was weird. Other than that, Selena does not like Selena at all. But like I said before, Clarice, very good at acting. And after Selena's death, Clarice goes on and on about, "Where are you, Kronos? Come out and face me." And if that alone didn't inspire that scene in Avengers Infinity War where Thor is like, "Give me Thanos," then I do not know what did. Then in part 2 we see Luke's scar again, and it's so much better. Their prosthetics and makeup department like leveled up their game. Part 3 I think is my favorite just because it's my favorite scene from the books, because it's the scene where Percy and Annabeth are talking after the war. They're at Camp Half-Blood in the dining room, and they're talking about everything and their feelings, and it's the first kiss before the underwater kiss. But for some reason, they chose to film this at a cemetery. It's probably because it's the only like field of grass they found with a lake in front of it where they were, which I mean, nice for finding it, but since after that they are not thrown into that lake, but instead into a very obvious swimming pool, I don't think they had to show the lake in that scene. So it was very weird seeing Percy confess his feelings for Annabeth in a cemetery, but you know, you do you. They were very cute, and the looks they gave each other before being dragged into the lake by Clarice single-handedly before they even kissed. The looks they shared, I thought that was really cute. But other than that, I bet filming the underwater kiss must have been really weird and really, really awkward. So yeah, that was my commentary on the Percy Jackson web series by The Video Bird. I thought it was very entertaining. Definitely recommend it if you want to spend like a half an hour getting all the warm Percy Jackson feels. And yeah, it's just nice to see that fans have always been so dedicated to making a nice and accurate Percy Jackson adaptation, even though they don't have the means to make one in a blockbuster movie. So yeah, no shade to anyone there. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you check out the web series and all of the other Percy Jackson web series. I think the creators really deserve all the love in the world because they do so much for this fandom, more than Hollywood. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and please leave your comments. I love getting those. And yeah, bye!